Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to a full flight video here on the channel. We've taken a wee bit of a hiatus, but we're back. We've got a new PC. We're rocking 5090, 9950 X3D, and we're going to take the 737 MAX from this new Bristol by soFly, and we're going to take it over to the iniBuilds version of Larnaca. We're in MSFS 2024, as you can see in the walk around mode there. I'm actually just going to come out of walk around mode because I don't particularly like it, and we'll go to the usual drone camera. So yeah, since I last uploaded a proper full flight commentary video, a lot has changed, especially in Flight Sim. Flight Sim 2024 is looking a little bit more stable now. We have some native aircraft. I say native aircraft, I think that aircraft's actually parked there, which is concerning. Anyway, yeah, so this is the iFly 737 MAX. I don't actually think it's technically native yet, but it is officially compatible. I'm sorry, that aircraft that's taxiing is so loud. So, in terms of add-ons that we're running, so we've got, obviously, Flight Sim 2024, we've got the iFly 737 MAX in the TUI livery. And I don't know why it's like there's airport sounds inside the plane. Anyway, yeah, so we've got the iFly 737 MAX 8. It's soFly's Bristol, iniBuilds Larnaca. We're running Rex Atmos Core for just making the clouds and the sky look a little bit better. Just running the default MSFS live weather. And we're using FSTL for the traffic. As always, I'll list all of the add-ons that are getting used in the description as I do below every video. I already know that TUI that seems to be parked in the taxiway is going to be an issue, but that's fine. We'll probably just remove the traffic while we depart. So yes, I am just going to set up Volanta because I forgot to do that, and I like to track my flights. Okay, so that's Volanta set up. Right, it's been a while since we've done a full flight commentary. It's actually been a while since I've flown Flight Sim in general. A lot of stuff going on. So we'll see how much of a disaster this is. And yeah, right, okay. So into the flight deck, we'll start with the usual. It's cold and dark. So battery on. And emergency lights can be armed and guarded. We'll get the EFB on. Got the system page, sim menu, ground support, and we will put the ground power on, which we're just going to set like so, and we'll flick that on. There we go. We can start with the IRS's aligning. The EO damper won't come on yet, which is fine. The seatbelt signs can come on, that's fine. Put the position light to steady. Put the logo light on, doesn't really matter, it's dark outside. Everything else we can just leave as it is, and we can go into the EFB and we can start setting up some stuff in here. So we'll go to the initialize flight. I can't remember how that works. We're just going to kind of roll with it. So one thing, I know it's getting updated, but the iFly EFB is horrific to try and use. So we're going to go to performance and payload. We're going to go to weight and balance. So we've already got the flight plan courtesy of SimBrief. So our block fuel is going to be 11,600. So fuel, our total fuel is 11,600. We can set the fuel. And in terms of the number of so we're looking for a zero fuel weight of 58, apparently. So let's see. I'm just going to pull up this. So the number of passengers that we have, why can't I see it, is 120. And in terms of cargo, so we're looking, as I said, for 58, which means we're looking for 2.3. So we'll put 1.15 here. No, 1150. 1150. 57.9 is close enough, so we'll set the payload, we'll complete that. We will ask GSX if it works, which it is. Fantastic to begin this boarding. We'll just use Jet 2, who cares. Got all the wing views set up. I have to say, MSFS 2024 is still not perfect, and I think it's a little while away from being perfect yet, to be honest with you. Hopefully it's going to interact and do all the doors itself. It is fantastic. It's a lot better than it was when I last properly played it. GSX is incredibly loud, Jesus. Yeah, it's a lot better than it last was when I played it. But yeah, it's still got a wee bit to go. The sound popping issues still kind of exist occasionally. I always thought it was a VRAM issue. Obviously still running 4K HDR. I'm hoping it's recording correctly for it to show HDR on YouTube. We may as well, yes. Nobody. Yeah, so I'm hoping that it's going to record correctly. We're running the 5090 now, so as you watch the older videos, you'll know I always went on about the VRAM usage. We've obviously got
we are ready for pushback.
An extra 8GB of VRAM in the 5090 up to 32, and I can confirm that running in 4K HDR at Heathrow in the Phoenix, I still managed to max out the VRAM to the point where it just starts becoming a laggy mess when it starts using the system RAM. So yeah, VRAM's still an issue. Admittedly, I am running 4K ultra settings. I probably could have turned some settings down. To get the VRAM usage down, but you know, when you've got a 5090 and a 9950 X3D, you want to run it in good settings. So yeah, alas, that's what we are dealing with. But between Bristol and Larnaca, I am not expecting any crazy usage of VRAM. At the moment, we're using 24GB of VRAM, so we are. If we had a 4090, I would be maxed out. Oh, don't know why that just done that. Just actually make sure my throttles are set up correctly, which they are. Anyway, so that is done. You can see we've got the passengers coming out, which always looks nice and good. Got the GSX profile for the airport again, which is good. Anyway, we will go down to... Well, first off, we can... Was it going to let me do the yaw damper without the IRSs? Yeah, that's right. Okay, down to the FMCs. We'll go to the FMC 1. Pause in it. We are at Bristol Echo Golf Golf Delta. And we'll grab the GPS left coordinates, like so. And they are aligned. In terms of the route, we are... Echo Golf Delta Delta to Larnaca, Lima Charlie Lima Kilo. Flight plan request. I hope this works. I have put in my... Oh, yes, allow. It's just popped up something on my other screen to approve Navigraph, so hopefully that worked. Excellent, so we can load that. Which will hopefully load in, see if it's putting it in manually, which it looks like it has. Call sign today is Tom Jet 7 Kilo Whiskey. So we can fire that in. We're departing out of runway 27 here at Bristol. And we can activate and execute that. Just check that it's put the legs in, which it has. 0 fuel weight, we can fire in automatically. We'll just put 2 for the reserves. Apparently the cost index is 53. We could do the takeoff performance now. So we are at Echo Golf Golf Delta. Search all. That's Bristol. We're out of runway 27. In terms of the weather, we are dry. The wind is 180 at 10. It's a lovely 11 degrees Celsius, and the QNH is 1014 hectopascals. We'll say takeoff 1, flaps 5, we'll leave the air conditioning on, anti-ice off, calculate. Interesting. I wondered if it would do that because it's quite a short runway here at Bristol. It doesn't even want to give us that. Wonder if we turn the air conditioning off if it will let us up. Interesting. Flaps 10. Flap 15. This is interesting. Let's just check the takeoff weight is correct. Takeoff weight is estimated to be 69.5, which is spot on. What's 5? Just curious. That's weird. So on that basis, we're going to ignore that, and we're just going to go for max takeoff. We're not going to select the temperature. Do we go flaps 10 then? Yeah, we usually also do flaps 5, but we'll do flaps 10 to hopefully get us off the ground a little bit quicker. So that gives us 134, 136 and 147. So we can fire 147 in here. Like so. We'll actually just do the SID. So as I said, out of 27. And we're on the this one, not going to try and pronounce it like that. We'll fire in the arrival at the moment. It might change, but just to be, I don't know, just to be prepared, I suppose. So we're 2-2. We'll go the ILS 2-2. And we're on, this is the one I have. This one's the one we're looking for. Not going to bother with a transition. We're not on BATSIM or anything, so as always I'm just going to kind of manually put a wee route in that looks like it makes the most sense, which that most definitely doesn't, which is weird. So what we'll do is we'll go to this one direct from, where will we go direct from? Otessa. Like so. That might not work, but that's what we're going to go with anyway. At the moment we will potentially change that on a route. So we're cruising at 370, which is already automatically selected for us. We'll put the initial at 16,000. Let's just say that. Like so. The runway heading is, I will just find out, it's 267, so we'll dial in 267 on the manual heading just in case. We can left flight director, right flight director, LNAV, VNAV are armed. Excellent. We'll change this back to the map page. We'll zoom that right in. That's an interesting departure. It is what it is. That is boarding complete. So with that, we are going to get the APU fired up. The seatbelt sign can come on. We're going to fire the window heats on. Going to fire all the fuel pumps on as well. We're going to prepare for pushback and departure. We are on to Zulu. Right, okay, hang on. What we're going to do is I'm just going to zoom in to where we are, because I am... So it wants to put us onto Zulu, which I'm going to do this. Apron Tango Lima to face south.
parking
see
brakes,
how that
please.
works. We also needs to do the QNH, which, as I said, is 1014 once, twice, 3 times. See how we're doing out here. I am going to... Is that going to work? I will... Once we get pushed out, I'm going to see how that goes. So we're just waiting for the APU to start up, and then we are ready to go. So APU is online now. On the APU bleed on. Just going to turn the engine bleeds off. We can go to system page, sim menu, ground support, disconnect the electrics. Okay, so anti-collision light is on. Everything else looks good. We can parking brake released. It's saying start after 35 meters. So let's see how GSX gets on here. Some things do never change, to be fair, and I imagine this is going to be a bit of a riot. All the settings for Flight Sim are on Ultra. I love that wing flex. I like that they've fixed that now because that looks incredible. Yeah, all the settings are on Ultra. The only thing I've turned off is ray trace shadows, because I find when they hit off of the kind of dust particles on the window, it kind of looks a bit weird.
Clear to start engines.
So yeah, that is the only thing that I have turned off of Ultra. I think my terrain level of detail is at 300 as well. Anyway, we're clear to start, so we can flick engine number 2 to ground. And believe it or not, it looks like GSX has actually done an okay job here. So we have engine number 2 motoring. We'll wait for that to disappear and then we can put in the fuel. It just happened. In goes the fuel.
Reset parking brakes, waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground.
We're just going to confirm that now.
You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
That sounds like a good engine start to me. Engine number 1 to ground. And again, same as before, we'll wait for engine number 1 to finish motoring. I don't know why it's parked a plane there, it's really weird.
Tow truck disconnected, bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
I just tell GSX that it's got a good engine. I actually meant to turn the setting off, that it's got a good engine start, so we don't need to wait for ages once the engines are started. There goes the fuel for number 2, and we will listen to this one start up. And we have a good engine start on number 1. So with that, we can go to the overhead panel. The generators can come on, APU can come off, the hydraulic pumps can come on, packs to auto, isolation valve to auto. What we'll actually do is we'll turn the packs off for the parts as well to give us a bit extra oomph. Starter switches to continuous, taxi light on. I like clicking that wee button because why not? Auto brake to RTO. We can put everything else is actually okay as it is, I think. We can do a flight control test, which we can launch from the wing, so full range of motion, spoilers, flaps are going to be 10, which is also a bit different, so 2, 5, 10. The sounds on this aircraft I do absolutely love. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to FSTL, reset the traffic right now, and we're going to start rolling forward and pretend that you didn't see that the fact that that TUI that is in front of us is now gone. Whoa! Here we go. Okay, and off we go. Please don't spawn in, please don't spawn in. So bring the range right down on the ND to 2.5. So it's a very, very short taxi out. And apologies, I've changed my rudder pedals, so if my taxiing is a little bit all over the place, that is why, because I'm still getting used to them and they're very sensitive, and I have tried to change the curves on them, but I can't quite get it how I would like it yet. Now I think in real life with such a short taxi we would actually have to wait for the engines to, is it the oil temperature or something needs to come up a little bit, so we'll maybe just give it a wee second, take it a nice and slow taxi. Yeah, so this is also the new Bristol by SoFly, as I've said, which is again lovely scenery. As you can see, my rudder pedal control is shocking. What we'll do is we'll just bring it to a stop here, which I've done. As you can see, I'm too busy looking at the views because I just love the wing flex, the way you slam the brakes on the wing flexes. I think iFly have got the wing flex nearly spot on in this aircraft, I have to say. Like the Phoenix's wing flex is really good, but I think in the iFly it's very, very nearly spot on, I have to say. Anyway, so we're about to go on the runway, so landing lights on, we'll put the turn offs on as well, strobe light on, packs off. Here we go. Let's get onto the runway. TARA. Should have probably checked to make sure there's nothing coming in to land. Yeah, FSTL's a bit odd as well at the moment in terms of the traffic injection. The aircraft seem to be doing some pretty strange stuff near airports, but in terms of making the ground look a bit busier, can't really complain. We're going to try and take up as much of the runway as possible here. And again, Bristol's runway has got quite a big slope on it. That was pretty spot on in terms of the lineup. Okay, so with that, I think we are ready to go. The auto throttle is armed. I'll try my best to control the plane on the ground. No promises. Anyway, 40%, we're just going to hold it, since the performance calculations seem to think we're not going to get very far. There's 40 stable, takeoff. Start the clock as well. Going on there. Positive rate, gears coming up. Still getting used to the flight dynamics of Flight Sim 2024 because they are a bit difficult.
500.
Look at that wind, it's very windy. Going to put Command A because I can't control it. Flaps 5. Don't know what the 500 call out was all about as well. Sorry, that was an awful departure. Going to go flaps all the way up. But as you can see, Flight Sim 2024 looking a lot better than it was when I properly last sat down to play it. We're going to altitude intervene all the way up to cruise, which is 370. Look at the climb rate. I don't know why the performance thinks that we were not going to get off that runway, because quite clearly we were absolutely fine. But yeah. So this is the AB preset for the Rex Atmos Core, which I think is I haven't played around with it too much, but from looking online it seemed to have the best recommendations, and it does look a lot better in my opinion than default Flight Sim 2024. We're through standard, standard 1013. Packs can come back on. Taxi light turn off, they can come off. Auto brake can come off. And there's that audio popping, which I'm 99% sure has to do with it loading in the scenery. There's talk that lowering your terrain level of detail reduces it, but I haven't had much luck with it doing it. It's not been as bad as it was when I first started, and it's not my internet. I have 2 gig down, 2 gig up symmetrical, so I don't think it's my internet that's causing. I think it's the Microsoft servers, but they do need to figure that out because it is really frustrating. The weather does look incredible. We stutter there. Down to 20 gigabytes of VRAM now, which isn't too bad. So we're well through 10,000, lights coming off. We'll wait until we're out of this turn here before we get the seatbelt signs off. But we are absolutely rocketing into the sky. Yeah, that departure is a bit all over the place. My rudder pedals are, how do I say, they're I'm still just getting used to it. I will figure it out eventually. But anyway, I think with that I will leave you here, and I will see you on the approach down into Larnaca. Hello and welcome back to the flight deck. We are on the descent down into Larnaca. Still got some stuff to set up, which is what we're going to do right now. So the transition altitude, or transition level, sorry, is 11,000 or 110. So we're just about to go through that. So we're going to set the QNH, the pressure, which is 1018. We'll set that now, and we'll set that on the standby. Just looking at the charts, the decision altitude here is, put it to barrel if we can. Why is that not letting me? I'm going to give it some speed brake as well to assist slowing down. Why can't I? There we go. As I said, yes, decision altitude is 207 on the barrel. Just got some speed brake out to try and get us slow down. You can see we're over the island of Cyprus now. Bit of wing flex. It's a lovely 26 degrees down in Larnaca. As I say, we might have to slightly edit the approach that we've got here, but we'll see. We'll do the init ref as well, so we'll go flaps 30 as always. 1103 is the ILS, so we'll go 1103, and we'll do that on both sides. 1 clear. 1103. Why is that not working? 3. 1103, there we go. The course is 220, so dial that in. On both sides as well. You can hear the trim wheel having fun there. We've got quite a few altitude restrictions, so we've got above 9,000 at this next waypoint and about 6,000 and 5,000, which is why I think 5,000 down to 15 might be a bit tight here. I'm also not entirely sure on the terrain, so we'll just take that as it comes. We'll bring the heading around just so it's lined up with us, just in case we need to use it. Like so. We're below 10,000, so lights on, seatbelt signs already on, packs are on, probes, everything is okay up there. Yeah, we are just about there. You can see going over some of the mountain range here. Never been to Cyprus in real life, so not sure what to expect. We've had some of the audio popping issues on the way down, which I'm sure most people are. I've certainly not been able to avoid it with the sound issues with Flight Sim 2024. Fingers crossed it doesn't do it just now. Whenever I set up a flight, I always put the destination airport in, because I think, I could be wrong, but I think if you put the destination airport in when you start loading Flight Sim up, it starts to pre-cache the scenery for where you go, and it's when the scenery loads in that seems to cause a popping issue with the sound. So I'm hoping that seems to be a fix that sometimes works for me. I could be talking utter nonsense and it doesn't do that, but it seems to have... there you go. As I say that, we get a couple of pops, so maybe I'm talking rubbish, but we'll see. My terrain level of detail is at 300. I was messing about with that in the cruise to see if that would stop the popping. Some suggestions at below 200 it doesn't, but that didn't seem to help it in the cruise, because it was pretty bad in the cruise. So yeah, anyway, we'll hope that it doesn't get too awful. The wind down in Larnaca is 160 at 6, so again, nothing too bad at all, so no pressure, should be a good landing. But as you've seen by our departure, that might not necessarily be the case. We'll go with auto brake 2, for the approach, for the landing. Can leave everything else as it is at the moment. We can just continue to admire the wing views, I suppose. It's a shame. I know in a few months, years, as 2024 begins to mature, this will be a great platform. It's just right now it's still got so many little bugs and issues that just make it very frustrating. Can't ever just load the sim up and play or fly without there being some kind of issue usually, whether that's the sound popping, crashes, etc. But it's been okay so far, so fingers crossed. I mean, it looks incredible, especially with the Rex Atmos Core, just to kind of make that sky not look as arcadey blue as it does in the default. It looks incredible. I'm still not overly convinced that it actually looks as good as Flight Sim 2020 sometimes, but I mean right now it looks pretty good. I'm going to bring some speed brake out to help us slow down, start getting some flaps out soon. Got the airport is dead ahead of us. Can't quite see it, but just going to bring a bit more speed brake out as well, just to help us slow down. Look at that wing flex. I'm actually going to try and record the flight on SkyDolly as well. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if it will work. It's the first time I've attempted to use it on Flight Sim 2024. Just trying to make sure the aircraft's fairly level before I start recording on it. So I'm going to click record on SkyDolly. Wish us luck. Hopefully it works. Continue with the speed brake. We're going to go flaps 1. If SkyDolly's working, there'll be replays in the edit somewhere. If not, then you won't see it, but we can always hope. Flaps 1 set. Arm and localizer. This is going to be a tight turn. I'm not sure how it's going to manage it, but we'll try. Airport should be just out to the right. Over there. Nice long runway at Larnaca as well. Bringing the speed brake in now. Hopefully we won't need it anymore, so we'll arm it. Gonna go flaps 5 now. That should get some drag to slow down. So yeah, this is with the terrain level of detail at 300. Obviously it does go to 500, it goes to 400, sorry. But yeah, we'll see how we get on here. About 5 miles to run until our turn. It's a tight turn. Just double checking that VREF. So yeah, 137, so final approach speed would be 142. Feel like we are quite high. I'm actually just going to VS a little bit further down here. There we go.
2500.
That's checked. This is not the way to do the approach, to come in this tight on the localizer, but it's okay. We'll do what we want. As I've said previously here, if you want absolute procedures and policy. This is not usually how we do it. We're just taking it easy and seeing what we can do. So we still don't have the glide slope. We're going to go, yeah, we don't have the glide slope at all. We're going to go gear down, flaps 15. There's the glide slope. Hang on. Flaps 30. I don't know why the speed brakes seem to sit up. I don't know if this is some kind of... Does the Max actually do this? I've never noticed this before. Anyway, we are fully configured. 4 miles to run. Auto brake 2. Starter switches 2 continuous. Turn offs and taxi light can come on, and we are pretty much established. Yeah, I don't know what this is about. Like, I've never ever seen... I've flown on a Max before, so I assume this is some kind of glitch. But we'll see. Anyway, speed brake arm, auto brake 2, and I have control. Wish us luck. Aiming for 142 roughly.
500.
A little bit high.
$400.
The way that you're pushed around in the wind in Flight Sim 2024 is much, much better than 2020,
300.
that's for sure.
Approaching minimum. 200. Minimum.
Landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down. Reversers. Decel. Here's 80. $70, $60, store the reversers, and welcome to Larnaca. Where I've missed the exit I wanted, but it's okay. Take this exit here, slowing it right down. Bring the speed brake in, flaps coming up. And get the APU started. Landing lights off. Strobe light off. Start switches off. And we will go round this way. Can stop the clock. 4 hours and 10 minutes in the air. So let's get GSX up. We are apron 1. We want stand 24, which I think I know how to get to. Let's just go with a GSX choice there. So that's round here. Just turn off the taxi lights as well. Auto brake off. Nearly forgot to stop SkyDolly. So I believe that's 26, so 24. Was it 24 I said? I believe so. I believe it was 24. Okay, that's not going to work. Because 24 is weird. Well, we go with... Ah, no, this is 24. That doesn't work because that EasyJet is there. Interesting. Oh, I clicked a button I didn't mean to there. Okay, maybe we'll go with stand 21 then. Which is fine. Good old... I was going to blame GSX there, but honestly it's probably an FSTL. Putting aircraft in random places kind of thing. So we'll go with 21. APU gen's on, so we'll just flick over to them just now before I forget. And we will head to stand 21. Slow it down. Yeah, I need to get used to these rudder pedals. As you can see, it's really sensitive. I really need to edit the... That'll do it. Parking brake on. APU gen's on, so we can kill the fuel. Hydraulic pumps can come off. APU bleed on. Lovely. Window heats can come off, I suppose. Fasten seatbelt sign off. Anti-collision light off. We can request deboarding. And that is us. Welcome to Larnaca. I have to say that wasn't actually too bad in terms of... I'm stuttering a little bit now, but I'll blame GSX on that. But yeah, that actually wasn't too bad in terms of the British Airways planes just disappeared. Lovely. It wasn't too bad for stuttering. I want to say that the putting in the destination airport maybe does help. I don't know. It's what I've been trying to do. Certainly, anyway. I wonder if we're getting a bus
Passengers bus is
for
coming.
our passengers. Oh yes, we are. Thanks, GSX. But yeah, that was our flight down to Larnaca. First flight back, full flight video on the channel in quite some time, I appreciate. Hope it was worth the wait though. Yes, this is the iniBuilds Larnaca as well, which I think I've actually mentioned already, so just ignore me. But yeah, if there's any flights you would like to see on the channel, then feel free to let me know and we can try and get that sorted. I'm trying to stick with Flight Sim 2024 just now. I do have 2020 installed as well, but I'm trying to just stick with 2024. Just due to the fact that it will be the sim that everybody moves to eventually. Obviously PMDG is only releasing certain 777s for Flight Sim 2024 now. It's only a matter of time before 2024 is not even a question, so I'm going to try and stick to it where I can, apart from when Bluebird releases M57, because nothing will make me go back to 2020 quicker than that, because it is my favourite aircraft and I can't wait for that to come out. But nonetheless, yes, thank you very much for watching, folks, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.